Hello, if you're here, you are an associate editor or above, and you need to know how to take something from publication to typesetting. This is a pretty easy process. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you come to the home page here after you go to My Journals, and we only have like one journal that we publish. You'll see the name of the journal, peer review, and publishing. So the first thing you want to do is identify the articles that are going to be published. So click on peer review if you're not already there. Go to manuscripts. Normally these are going to be showing up as V2 because a lot of times we don't go automatically to publication. We do have folks do review, revise, and resubmit first. A lot of times if they do make it to that stage, they probably are going to be published, and they are going to be denoted in here as accepted. This means that the person has received their notification of publication, and then we can take that next step to move the article toward submission for typesetting. So the best way to do this is if you see this V2, you can click on it, or if you're able to just sort of drag and get the title of this article. This is going to make sense more in just a moment, but just grab the title of it, and then you're going to go back to home base, as it were, and you're going to click from peer review to publishing. And once you're in publishing, you're going to want to go to new. Now you can see for that article we already have a typesetting request coming in, but we are submitted, I should say, but we're going to do this for illustration purposes. You're going to go to new and then typesetting request. Don't select the others. This is a little, please pay attention right here. You won't be able to find it later. You're going to want to click on this little link right here. There's no need to do all of the manual submission and everything. You're going to want to click right here because the article is on the back end, but you need to send it to the typesetting side. The reason why we selected that we wanted to copy the article of the title is you need to be able to find it. There's tons of articles in this list here. You're going to be scrolling forever. Just click that in here. The article comes right up. Click on it, go to next, and then you can see that it's pulled all the files associated with the resubmission of this article. This is the main one. If you are not sure, be sure to go back to the original place where that manuscript appears and look at it to make sure you understand which files to be pulling from, or the person at Scholastica is going to be pulling from and putting into the system. This is the main one. You say import as main article file. So, you don't want the article be the supplementary attachment or cover image. The other thing is you will hit finish. Sometimes these articles will have tables and images submitted as separate files. That's completely fine. In that case, let's just pretend this track changes is a submitted thing of tables and figures. You're going to want to add that as supplementary information. The other thing is a lot of times they have the biographies submitted as separate files. They don't here. In that case, once again, you would attach it as supplementary information. Once you are done with that, you're going to click finish, and you'll see that all of this information has been pre-populated. You just need to go in and update it and submit it and approve it. So first click on this piece here. You'll see that the article title has been pulled. You are then just say use article title for the running title in the PDF. There would be no need to change that. The one thing here is you're going to want to look at this abstract because you want to pull a sentence from here and make it into the lead. A lot of times I like to grab, it's like basically a subtitle for the article. It just kind of tells folks what's in here. I like to grab this type of sentence. This paper focuses on analysis, etc. And so you can say the author's focus on analysis. We took out the and then you have a nice lead sentence. It's under 30 words. It works really well. Leave this alone, please. Thank you. For the publication date, that's normally the date that you're sending this off for publication. For the article image, you saw that you could upload an image that we had, you might have found separately. In this case, we have been using a lot of images from this bank. It's a pretty good bank of images that they have. If you didn't upload an image, by the way, and you had an image separately, you could drag it here. But what I like to do is this. I'm going to hit on search for an image. So use something like these two words to sort of bring up some images. And then you can find just some basic sort of images to use here. Don't use stuff like this like skull and crossbones or something this explicit. This is not the type of like imagery we want to use. Something a bit more suggestive is always the way to go. If you're confused about it, by all means reach out to us. I can always go in and fix this. Obviously, don't use an image like that. I would probably use this one because it's just very bland. It suggests that there's something with drugs, and you can just move forward. In terms of sections, you want to make sure you hit 2025 to the present. For now, you can place this in the spring issue. We'll update that later on our end. This pulls directly from the article submission itself that the authors have. You do not need to touch this or do anything about this. This is a copyright license. We have it through open access. The article type is indicated as well from the original submission. You're going to, once you're done with this, you hit done. And then it takes you back. You're done with the first part. Now, I know that took a bit of time, but the next pieces are very easy to do. So this is done by the authors when they submit their article. There you go, all complete. The article files, all is done. If you had attached the supplementary files of figures and tables, we don't have that with this one. Just write in the notes section, please add figures and tables to the layout of the article, retain as a supplement as well. That's all you would do there. This is just a sample, by the way, so we're gonna just leave that note in there. If you had any additional information you needed to add, you would add it here. You probably won't. We don't have any information about funding sources with this particular article. We do have that on occasion, but that will be highlighted and noted. And you would also see it in the original submission as well. Once you are done, you would hit send request, and you need to click this. Otherwise, the request will not go through. So be sure that you click it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So hit send request, and it will come up and it will be in this section. So if it did not go through, you would see it as request not sent. These have all been sent. So that's it in a nutshell. An email will be sent once it is typeset by Scholastica to our communications@bcph.org. bcph.org. If you have access to that email, you can go in and review and approve it. Otherwise, at this point, your work would be done. Just let us know that you did it. We will be able to see it as well on our end, but it's nice to know that there's record of it. There's no harm in having multiple records of it. To do that notification, you can go back to the manuscript itself, come in here, excuse me, I'm sorry, go into the article itself, and then send a message in the discussion section. And to do that, of course, just start a discussion, and you would just send it to the 3 editors-in-chief. I won't be able to send it to myself, but obviously to Dr. Carpenter and Catherine, and then myself. And you would just say, sent typesetting request on the date, and then just sign your name. And then you would just create discussion. This is can be a very informal notice. So thank you very much for your time. That's how to do the typesetting in very easy steps. If you have any questions, of course, let us know at communications@bcph.org. Just reach out and we'll get those answered for you. Have a good day.